Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the podcast brought to you by the ANOUVUE Collective, where we're going to talk about everything film related, from script to screen and anything else in between. Stay tuned.
Let's talk about the origins of ANOUVUE, right? In fact, is it ANOUVUE or ANOUVUE? How do you pronounce it?
Make Darren tell you because he's the one I had a big argument going to country with over it.
No, man, you can tell because remember a while ago we were talking and it's like it's hazy to me, I think you tell it and I can see if I can fill in the gaps.
So,
But, yeah.
okay. So, I'm studying French, right?
Yes,
But,
yes, I remember.
oh, no,
You're
you
studying French.
I remember.
Not me, it coming back now, but go on.
So, also, it's a play on a new view of things, right? Of the landscape, the visual landscape and the standards that we have. When I was in Jamaica, that I'm seeing, I remember say, I don't really live there. So I'm mentally thinking of where may I come from and what I'm seeing created by other people. So it's a new view. Now, when I go into French and I started to try to put words together, I realize anew means like new, right? Nouvelle, you know what I mean? It's like new. And vous is view. So a new view.
Okay, cool.
So
And yeah, and just for the people watching, we're talking about filmmaking, right? Filmmaking, audiovisual production, that whole jazz. So basically what you're saying, like that's how this thing came about. You guys are just thinking about what you're seeing out there in the world, internationally, visually, that you just weren't seeing here.
Well, Licky was the one that came up with that ANOUVUE thing because of the whole French thing. And I think was as Licky mentioned, like kind of at a plateau in the level of work that I was putting out in my mind. So I guess those two things kind of coincided at the same time, and yeah, he came up with that. But okay, what was the argument? Like, what was I saying in regards to what you were saying?
well, I don't think we were arguing about. I don't think
not
we were arguing
arguing like
about.
just arguing, but I mean we're definitely.
I don't think the back and forth was really about like what it was, because I think you know what it was.
It was the
It's
argument
about
was
the name
the pronunciation.
and the pronunciation.
But I can't remember exactly what I was saying as opposed to what you were saying.
You're like always gonna be said, always gonna be pronounced, right?
And I wanted it pronounced like how?
No, I think you didn't care about the pronunciation, but you're like, people not gonna catch it. People not gonna know how when they see it, say it when they see it.
Oh, and I probably wanted to say view, like
yeah,
normal view, IEW.
Exactly. But for me, it didn't matter because at the end of the day, it's a new view. To word it out in what we're going towards fighting for, right? And then in the same drive going to country, then I start text my French brethren and going, how do you pronounce this in French? The spelling that I had, right? Yeah, and then send me back a voice note with the pronunciation. But then in my brain, I must say, but you wouldn't say so. It doesn't make sense. But my brain, I care about that. Because I try to connect things together, right? To just find that unique flow of words
but
for me.
I guess but you know, going further along, the actual thing, actual collective was, I guess, born out of yeah, my dissatisfaction, I guess, with work that was being put out. And not to say that we can't put out work, it's just sometimes sometimes it's like what we get presented, like we don't really have no control over what's written. We execute what they give us. So sometimes the projects just, yeah,
All right, so
they're run of the mill stuff. So yeah.
all right, so let's jump ahead a bit further, right? So I hear you hinting to why you created this, essentially suggesting that, there's something lacking in the industry, and when by something lacking meaning in terms of reaching a level that can be internationally recognized, or I should say compared, to what's out there internationally. So you mentioned a collective, so a new view. I want to talk about, why did you guys decide that a new view should be a collective, and then what did you hope to achieve through this collective that would solve this problem? Yeah, why a
So,
collective? Like, why not by yourself try to up the standards?
well,
Why a collective?
first thing is you can't do things by yourself. If
I
you're
do, I do things
serious,
by myself all the time, man.
wait, but if you can't do everything by yourself, and you can't do really good stuff by yourself unless you're just one of those people that's gonna sit down and do this for a couple months or years to get it done. It's done. It's done. It's been done before. It's not like, but this is not animation or so on. This is something where you need actors, right? So really and truly, this is born out of me, Mars is now here, and Darren. When we're there at Darren place, and we just talk about visuals and things, and remember in them man here say they have, listen, when I tell you say them man here have work, two of them put together have work, but then they go, but we can't cut a reel from it. What do you mean? You can't cut a reel, and you basically shoot like every month, maybe 2 things a month, maybe more. Or you can't cut a reel. That means that I'm not satisfied with them quality, with what I'm create. So we say, so it all start from looking at a new standard or a new way. You know what I say?
But
Maybe just
important thing also though is that comes from like like this personal whatever to be better, because the actual work is good work. Meaning, like, if by all accounts, if some outsider looking at it, then we'll be like, oh, what, but to us, man, we shoot this all the time, so it's like, even though it look good and it's like the same things, the same boring concepts and the same whatever. So it's like this weird thing of, yes, it's good, but
Right.
we don't
Okay, I get you.
care if it's in the real, because we shoot it so much, it's just like, yeah.
No, I get what you're saying. So there's a creative monotony. So it's like if you were to cut a reel, it all looks like the same thing. It doesn't
Yeah.
really show your true diversity.
Mm-hmm. And we'll get the occasional thing that just saying we'll get slightly slightly excited about. And it usually turn out good. And the man, he's good at, what you call it, pivoting on the fly, in especially like for comedic kind of things. So them time they're kind of nice. But yeah, we shoot a lot of other
A lot of limited concepts.
mundane stuff.
Okay, so essentially it's not just the visuals, it's everything. It's the writing, the visuals, the editing, the everything.
Yeah, but I'm not even going to fling it on the writers or nothing, because sometimes, they
The
write
client.
good, yeah, good stuff, and the client might start stripping things,
Yeah,
so
I've been there.
kind of have to work with the program sometimes, and I have to know when to kind of push back a little bit sometimes. So it's a
Do
delicate.
you do you ever get a say in the pushback, or you just have to hope that the people who are producing will push back enough?
Um, as a as a director, you get more of a say. DP, like I'll relay my whatever to the director. So I guess between my opinion and he or she opinion will hold some weight. But
Yeah.
yeah, at the end of the day, we'll get what they want. So
Mm. Let me catch Mars up a bit. So Mars, basically what we've been talking about so far, we kind of talked about how the name ANOUVUE came about and why they wanted to start a new view. I know that you are an integral part of this discussion as well. So I'd like to hear from you, your perspective. How did you come into the fold with this a new view thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think Licky deserved most of the credit still.
yeah.
Licky really dragged me into this, I never really
Me
started off.
too. Kicking and
Yes.
screaming.
A theme thing that anything will generally get instigated and Licky started. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, I guess back then, when the idea came up, um, it made sense. At the time, there weren't like a lot of, well, there still aren't many collectives in the Jamaican space trying to do film, or if you want to extend it, you can say art on a whole. So it made sense. Like there wasn't too much to think about. It's rare when you get like a lot of creative people in one space who are like-minded, who also have the talent to come together and do some work. So it was it was a no-brainer, pretty much.
Okay, cool. And at the end of the day, when you guys came together and said, all right, let's form this a new view thing, like, how did you decide to solidify it? What were you hoping to achieve with it?
Um, it was really to improve on the work. I think that was the real goal and still is the real goal. Improvement of the work, and bringing everybody along in terms of that improvement as well. Because it's not just about like one person. We're trying to make sure that everybody's on the same level. Because we want when other films come to Jamaica, everybody's up to a particular standard in terms of work, so they can go on these sets, hopefully occupy certain roles. I mean, I know that's generally difficult, especially when I'm bringing down foreign people. But whenever you see like somebody from the island like occupying a certain space on an international film set, I think all of us feel good, because in your mind, like you looking on, you can definitely say, yo, all right, that can possibly be me next time. I just need for probably work a little harder or probably make the right connection. So it was really to improve the work, get everybody up to standard, um, and have some fun. That's how this whole thing started in the first place. Like I think all of us got into film because we saw the potential of it and we wanted to have fun with film in of itself. So yeah, that was really it.
Cool, cool. So what kind of projects, and this goes out to all of you, anybody can answer it, but what kind of projects has a new view been working on towards the improvement of this quality, what people can see?
So it's really shorts right now, because as we know, all films require funding. So it's really shorts. Of course, the writers' room. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Would you consider, because like, I
Well,
mean,
hold on, Kevin.
yeah, go ahead.
Just because I don't want you to move on from that same
Yeah, man,
point.
yeah, man, yeah, man.
I said that because as Morris say, have fun. The first project we did, which was Dig Your Own Grave,
That's what I
was
was gonna get to. Yeah, man. Thanks for bringing that
that
up.
did achieve what I wanted to achieve. I never know say it would have looked so good. I mean, not because that was like my first thing that I was shooting on anamorphics that like I think kind of movie-ish. Yeah. But man, that was a fun little ride still. I'm not telling you. I know maybe just saying a few pocket to feel it. So
Yo,
in my
especially with
different
that,
experience, let's have
especially with that car, right?
Yeah.
Bro,
That's
that
cool,
car
yo.
was, wait. That car was 90, how much grand per hour? 45? 45
Yeah.
per hour?
No, I think it was 25.
How much?
25.
25 per hour? Think more, but okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. And every hour we're like, all right, I could take out an ANOUVUE bank account.
Mm. But
But
honestly, no, but honestly, I think that car
So,
really helped to sell that film.
yo.
Yeah, it
The
took it
yellow,
to a
that
different level.
color was wicked, like.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
I love Kill Bill, so maybe I kind of biased. But yeah,
No,
and then
no, let me tell you. I mean, I love Kill Bill too, so there might be some bias there as well. But I also think that because that car is not the typical type of car you'd see in Jamaica, it kind of added something to the aesthetic.
man,
So,
yeah,
and I mean, especially because you didn't have any landmarks around, people could watch them and go, yo, where was this shot?
brother, and we just drop it claps right in the middle of the cane field, and it just looks sick.
Yep, and it could have been
but
Mexico.
you know that project did more than just, well, I don't think Darren liked to say it, but that is the first film Animorphics, like owned by an Animorphics owner in Jamaica, that shot in Jamaica. You see what I say? That was the first film. But that did more than just drop as a film for Jesse and Darren. That actually opened up doors for Jesse and Darren, because that allow who they work for to see the quality that can be created by them too, when not controlled to a certain level and on a different set of equipment that they wouldn't have gone, they normally would not gone for. You see me I say? So right after that, whoops, they get a Ray Navy commercial, full anamorphic. You see me I say? And then
So,
ever since, the anamorphic's been working. But I kind of think it took that project for people to go, oh,
Well, them sure they wasn't going to just higher the price of those anamorphics just out of
yeah,
the thin blue air, because they need to see some evidence.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm glad. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying Dig Your Own Grave was basically the proof of concept.
Right.
Yeah.
And to be honest, not really wrong with that, because when you run a business and you have so many different things to put money into, salary, utilities, equipment, etc., is like another cost, especially a high one. You kind of have to justify the use of it. And if somebody takes that leap and show a proof of concept and you go, oh, okay, well, I can see where I can charge my clients more for this kind of look, especially when you can show the client the look. When you can't show the client the look, it's a bit hard to say, I'll spend this extra money.
Yeah.
Especially if they think what they have already is doing fine.
But that's on a, business level and thing. But on just a personal level, it's definitely help to alleviate some of that what I was feeling before.
Right.
I guess it was part of the goal anyway.
So since then you found it any easier to, ask for other lenses to be utilized, or you still have the same fight every time you want to try a new lens or any new equipment?
Right. No, I think most people trust what I say. It might not always happen because budget and these things, but
Right, right.
it's not usually because them fighting me and my creativity and thing. Sometimes I would have loved to do it, but I just can't do it.
Just can't do it.
Yeah.
All right. So no, I mean the premise is obvious now that you guys just want to work on improving the quality. And a couple films have come out. There's Dig Your Own Grave, there's the shorts challenges that you guys did. Where not each collective member, basically whichever collective member wants to participate in the challenge, participates in the challenge. But what other stuff are you guys looking forward to creating? Because 2025 is about to roll out. What's ANOUVUE doing to make sure that they remain seen and this, improvement in standard is continuously demonstrated to the world. What wanna do next year?
I would say, I mean, we have one challenge to finish.
Which one is that now?
7 Deadly Sins. We have one challenge to finish.
What's that about?
Our second challenge, the 7 Deadly Sins, that's in the Bible. You know what I mean? And everybody gets a sin and they make something. Well, not everybody, but I guess who was chosen on the spinning wheel gets a sin and they get to make that sin. You know what I mean? And we'll wait on that to finish so we can add that to the collection and things or have. But outside of that, I don't live in Jamaica, even though mentally I'm in Jamaica. It's a message. So I'm thinking of things that I can create up here that can flow to the channel. You know what I say? So I mean, I just, as a matter of fact, this week just start develop something. I've been calling you and asking you for ideas, how to go on the story, the skit. So just staying busy.
A web series that you mentioned.
Web series, yeah, it's gonna be a web series.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
I
Darren, what
just
about you? Oh, you never finished. Go ahead.
Oh, let it go on.
Like you never finished what you were saying.
No, I just want to say, I'm seeking out people and working with people up here and telling them straight. Well, first of all, it's no low budget. There's no budget. So may I say? So everybody have to have skill and resources and being resourceful. So until we start make it. So I tell people straight up, like everybody may I work with, like them I feel get something out of it. See what I say? So like the editor, is also the director, but he's the editor on Wrath, my sin that is out. So I say, and him say more on direct. So I'm like, put him in that shoe. It's the best place to practice, and like the another guy, he wants a DP, but his girl is also a producer. So this will look good for them on their social and whatever, you know what I say? And then the actress, I wanted to make it a short film, but I feel like if I make it into smaller pieces, skits, she will get more out of it because people see more of her instead of just
Right.
one short film. And then I spoke to the audio guy today, and the audio guy, like, he wants to do scoring. No, he said he normally score. He don't mix a lot of audio, but he know for mix very well if he has to, and he's actually trying to come on set more and do more boom handling. And I'm like, dude, if you have the skill, we can just stay in the studio and make money. But him on the boom handling, so he's gonna do booming. Well, you know him, Darren. He was the one that did sound for us on that short film, Luke. Right?
All right.
So he's gonna do
So
sound.
I thought Luke did on what you call it? Like on set stuff. He's mostly in studio.
He was usually more in studio. That's why I'm gonna try to come out of the studio. That's why that job that he did with us is him getting out of the studio, trying to be more active. Yeah. So, you know, that's something I work on. And for me, just like the collective, everybody I feel get out of it, or it I can push you in some way, and you can go, yeah, me do that, me do that, me do that. At the end of the day, though, for me as a DP, as I said to them, unless you're a DP watching it, you're not really pre the visual sometimes. You're pre the story and where it's going. So usually they're gonna ask who direct it, who produce it, who write it, and then it come down the line of the DP, and then eventually they go, oh, what? No? You think not?
You don't ask who writes it.
Oh,
Unfortunately, and that
unfortunately, especially if it's a skit, probably I don't care actually. So yeah.
True.
And
I'm here from Darren. Darren, what are you gonna be working on? And then Mars.
Why, right now it's just not personal things, you know, not meaning not personal projects. Because I have a couple what do you call it? But you know, strong potential jams. But it's not, and it's like long form shooting series kind of stuff. But yeah, none of that is any like personal project or something that is kind of a new view related. So that's what's gonna kind of suck up my time, them time there. So I think if I do any kind of thing like that, it would be maybe a little later in the year. But I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm wide open now. I'm open to shooting whatever good. If you're saying have something decent, you know, we can shoot it. So so yeah, that's where I'm at now still. And I mean, really, just on a personal note, I doing some projects that indecent still. Like it's not mind blowing or whatever, but it's still satisfying. So I can give thanks for that same way.
Okay, cool. Mars?
This is probably going to be the saddest thing I ever said, but right now, nothing necessarily in the pipe or unless it's like work related. I mean, I have ideas that I want to do. The aim was really to try and do a movie next year. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work out just yet. Not necessarily because it can't happen. It's just where my headspace is at currently. So I'm trying to find that joy that's needed to write that sort of film and get it done. There's a lot of unsureness in the space right now.
Right.
I guess maybe it's just me, but yeah, still trying to navigate that. So I can probably get back into that zone of trying to do like more creative stuff. But yeah, as I said, not anything necessarily planned for 2025. A lot of small projects. When Darren mentioned dig your own grave a while ago, I was just like, I wonder if we should do a dig your own grave too. But you know,
I would love that.
With doing shorts is that you don't necessarily make back money from these things.
Right.
You know, it's hard to invest so much money into something that you're not necessarily going to make back money from. But
True. And I mean, to be honest, this day and age, people more like a series. So it's like if it has series potential, then it's one thing. But if it's just a short, then it's kind of so all right.
So wait, just say when you say next year, you mean 2025, you want to do your film?
Yeah, 2025.
Okay.
Great. Sound good. So when you do your film 2025, I mean, and this goes out to you and Darren, but I'll start with you first, Mars. Will you be using the ANOUVUE Collective to work on this film?
The aim was really to try and use as much local crew as possible. So Well, I'm not even sure if I can say this, but I think one of the challenge for us as local filmmakers, especially if people want to come out here to do production, the cost of doing production out here, especially if you want to use external people, for us it's more expensive. Um, which again, like it's important that everybody is up to a certain level. And I think there are a lot of people out here who can definitely do it. I guess the next challenge that you'd have to navigate is if they're available.
Yeah.
Because to my understanding, there's a few projects happening next year. So
True.
it's just a matter if they're available. Because I think,
It's
we
true.
can do it. Our challenge in the industry is that we don't necessarily have enough people to go around. So if 2 or 3 films happening at the same time, somebody might get left, or then probably have to go import some people.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of the ANOUVUE people will be on some of these films at different points. So, I mean, if the opportunity does present itself, then sure, for sure. But the aim is to use as much local crew as possible. My thing was supposed to be a horror film, um, but so I know that going to need some help externally, especially when you talk about like makeup and stuff like that. Um, so so yeah.
And so like I know we need to expand, right? I see, I see, I see, I see, I see like it twisting him head.
No, ma'am, more know what you mean by this. I want to, hold on, I think you should speak proper English. I want to understand what you mean by that.
You mean by what?
What I mean by expand?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the collective needs to grow.
Oh,
Yeah.
we've tried that. There've been problems, but I'm not against it. I'm not against it.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
mean,
me control anything. It's not me. It's a collective. So it's a,
yeah. Well, I don't want let me not jump topics because I want Darren to answer as well. No, I was saying like, your project. I know you're saying that you're not planning to work on many personal projects next year, but just wondering about, like involvement of the collective. Cause I figure a part of if the collective is about helping everybody's, standards to grow, then I guess the collective has to do stuff together. So just wondering, if anything you're working on next year, you're gonna be involving people from the collective, or how do you plan to use the collective, etc.
Well, in all honesty, on those projects, I have no control over that.
I figure as
However,
much.
however, if one, if I have time and if I like the project and everything, and probably dependent on my relationship with whoever, I'm open to shooting, meaning shooting projects of ANOUVUE members,
Right.
and if I can use them in any way, I will. I just don't know what way that is right now. But if the opportunity arises, then yeah, definitely.
Because Lecky abroad, I'm not asking the same question, but the
no,
question I'm
but
gonna ask Lecky
wait
is,
there. To add on to
eh?
his,
Yeah,
usually even marginal, usually naturally there's members that's on these shoots because they work
true.
either the company or them just, so naturally you have members with them on the shoot them and them not have, what I say? It's not like you bring them on, they're just there because they come with a company or they come with the skill to get
Right.
Yeah.
And
Obviously our industry is small, so
Very, yeah.
yeah.
yeah, very true, very true. But even though the industry is small, one of the things that I wonder is, like, do you think that part of the reason why some of the visuals feel stagnated is the fact that the same people working together all the while, so you're not getting like a different perspective, or is it something that you would say all falls on the client?
No, that could be a part of it too. Client one writing And that too, because thing is, I don't know about Jess. I can't speak for Jess. But yeah, sometimes again, as I say, it will look good and everything, but sometimes you're coasting on autopilot,
Mm.
right?
True.
So
Yeah, no, like
yeah.
when last you
Have
have to
we-
bust your brain.
wait.
When last you have to wait, hold on.
Wait.
When last
I have been on a shoot with both of them, and they were in that manner, bro. And it was crazy because you have Jesse and Anima go. We're not gonna say what shoot it is, but you have Jesse and I say, yeah, all right. And Darren, yeah, put the camera
Oh,
this.
no, man. It's like,
And I was like, yo,
again,
autopilot, the one them dep on, bro.
bad shoots, you know, always have fun with the crew and thing. It's just, I, it's almost like a out of body experience. It's just like, am I really on a shoot right now? It doesn't
Yeah, it
feel
feels too
like
easy.
anything really happening. It just coasting and,
Yeah.
image look, standard nice looking image, yeah, and blah blah blah. So yeah.
when last you bust your brain on a set? Like when I say bust your brain, meaning like you're on the set and you're thinking, all right, I need to do this lighting setup, but like we need to get extremely creative with it. It's not just standard lighting setup, or even
Ah,
looking and going, oh yo, we need to shoot at this angle through a grill or through a pipe, and like when is
I'll
the
tell
last
you,
time you bust your brain?
I'll tell you, and this one is the one that stands out. Like, so it may not be the most recent thing, but when me and Jess was shooting is KFC a KFC commercial
Wow,
at,
KFC one.
at the stadium, a football thing,
Oh,
and and rain. Listen, first, rain wipe out one half of the day that we're supposed to shoot at the reservoir or the Mona Dam. I mean, so that was dam get scrapped. So a whole chunk of the thing gone, and meaning the script, and then rain was falling, so we couldn't even shoot outside of the like the internals of the stadium.
Oh yeah.
We
What a
shoot on the
nice.
field. I mean, we shot some stuff on the field, but we never get to shoot everything we needed. So, we just have to pivot and just come up with this idea the to use the hallway of the dressing room or whatever it is, and kind of light it very dark and contrasty to make it just look, way more epic than it really is. And the whole commercial was just that hallway. But them in the hall and them is like fans jumping around and cheering with the Jamaica
Yeah.
paraphernalia and
Yeah.
Bunny Shaw. Is Shaw? Is
yeah.
Shaw? Yeah. Bunny, female Jamaican footballer. Yeah.
Okay,
And
cool.
and
And
they were around her, and she had a football and a little girl. I mean, I think a little girl was beside her or something. But yeah, it was just like this fun explosion, fanfare kind of vibe. And we shot it really slow motion. So the whole commercial was like slow-mo and what you call it, speed ramping and them kind of thing there. And it was nice. But just to scrap though a lot of the commercial because we just never have no choice. And Jess was the one that came up with that. And the clients, credit to the client too. They went along with it too. So, because you can have some clients where not like that. Let me just
right,
right this one. I
yeah,
leave.
they said they might look when you ask you say you can't stop the rain.
See
You
me?
can't shoot in the rain.
So at least they were willing to pivot to.
Okay, cool. That's good. That's good. And you like when shoots turn out like that, eh?
Yeah, because it still turned out good. It may not have been what we wanted, but make you see say there's another way to look at things too.
Right.
Look.
And I mean, you get a chance to be creative, you know?
Yeah.
And so, well, I mean, it's obvious to me that, you know, doing that film, Dig Your Own Grave, you know, made a difference for you guys in terms of how the client responds to doing something different. And definitely more of that needs to happen. So I guess this question now is what next in terms of influencing the industry? Because at the end of the day, it's great to change, or I should say, it's great to improve yourself, but the industry itself need to change with you. All right, you're going to always be in that box. You're going to be growing, but you're still going to be stifled by that box unless you find the money to do your personal thing. So, you know, how am I going to do another Dig Your Own Grave, something epic, whether it be a commercial or a short film or, you know, like maybe you need to bad up on our clients and say, yo, do it this way. Is that even possible?
Maybe we can start branching out. Well, no. See, no, that I was gonna suggest something, but no, it would be a direct what you call that, conflict of interest with
Which is what?
we work with.
Yeah.
So that just dead right there, so.
No, but I think we
No,
maybe
no,
we gotta say,
unless I approach a totally different client that, you know, that's so far out that but I would want to approach just cold call people that is not in competition or whatever with, and I would have to be very clear on what that is. So maybe
Right.
whoever about that, but I don't know, approach people with our own ideas, like spec ideas that we have, you know, but
Yeah.
you not expect me not going to go out and shoot it on my own dime. I don't want to do that. I want to pitch this idea
Right.
and you
Right.
and based on my work that I show you, that you don't love it, or you love me to do it and pay for it. So
but all of you right here have been in that commercial. I've been a part of a commercial like that, the JNNB, whatever he did, and he was
yeah,
and
but
David was an actor.
Ryan.
That's Victoria. That's
No,
Victoria
no. But what I try to say is, you guys did step out and do that.
Oh, that was a
It
pitch?
was our own thing.
They
So
did their
Ryan, so we facilitated that, you know, but Ryan was the one that went out and got that client and wrote that and did the whole what you call that thing, the deck.
and that was great.
expensive.
That was a good show.
Yes, you did help with that deck?
What's that? Who was that for?
If you ever
the
pitch deck,
same. It's
pitch
the
in a
same.
pitch
You
deck.
did help
Not the
with
pitch deck, just the film aspect of the deck.
Oh,
So
because
storyboarding and stuff like
said that was long and you know, if we print out all that, it would have tick. So, but Ryan did doing thing, and he trusted us enough to him did us low way, and you know, basically, I mean, and he told us that that he would trust us and things.
So maybe we need to partner with more people like that. Are there more Ryans out there?
No, but what the point is, I'm saying that we need to do what Ryan did do too. Like go out and get our clients and
right.
Very clear as to what the competition is, so we're not step on our toes, but if we can do that, then do it.
Yeah. And you know, the thing is that I think there's opportunity for that because I'm learning that there are a lot of very new innovative companies in Jamaica, but we just not hear about them. Right? And it's because a lot of them have chosen to export overseas. Them don't bother with the local market. So we don't necessarily hear about them. So maybe even targeting companies like those, because with everybody have bum rush the Digicells and the Flows and the KFC. But yeah, so all right.
Maybe we need to just approach smaller people, but
Them can afford it, though, Darren.
no, but the crew have to, that's where you have like micro crews, so you have ideas
Yeah.
that can be done with
On a micro level.
yeah, because not everything need, because we just have to, if we sometimes we have to make more money
True.
for ourselves. Sometimes we don't need no one bag of people, brother. Because
True.
that's what used to do anyway, like when we weren't getting paid.
That's true.
So
That's very true.
we need to kind of get back to some of that where the budget is still decent for a smaller crew to eat food for half. So
You agree, Morris?
these are things just coming to me, and
Yeah,
I
man.
agree.
They're good ideas.
I'm talking to me. So maybe I need to go.
Talk to me too.
Nee, but you
Mark.
know what? We talked about this before when we did last Christmas, time heals, right? I would say, listen, people know our skills. If we start reach out to even the same company that we give, we help, we make we shoot time meals there, the other shoot time meals there, that can be seen as a
Which project?
commercial. Eh?
Project is that?
Time meals.
Oh, time heals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? And you just use that as a jump off to reach out to smaller companies or their because I think that store own other companies, right? And that's what we're talking about, even the supermarket.
Probably.
You know, and just use those little things as jump offs right there. Because they already know you can work. They already know you work.
But then, again, at the same time, why you have to look on other, but I don't want to be pessimistic or nothing, but just the state of the economy. Yeah, you have to go find out whatever budget that is, because people, it's rough.
Yeah, it's rough. And the thing is, we have to learn how to communicate value. I don't think a lot of times, because talking to some filmmakers, when they try to communicate value, what they end up communicating is why the project is important to them or why the project is important to the audience. But they never communicate why the project should be important to them as the client. You know, not realize.
Me, I go make more money, boss man.
Right. Because like with Time Heals, for example, I was saying to Tariq had told me that the reason how Time Heals came about, is that he came back from America, did his master's in acting, and it was pitching project after project, ministry after ministry, agency after agency, company after company, and nobody was biting. And he couldn't understand why nobody was biting, because here he is pitching these things that is gonna, create these amazing commercials or amazing films that audiences will enjoy and will, add some spice to what we see on TV. And the most positive reaction he would get is, this is really good, but we're not on money, right? And when Time Heals got done now, he got that done with relative ease. And I said to him that the difference is, you're shooting a Christmas film with a main character that works in a Christmas store, and you ask a Christmas store for sponsorship. So right off the bat, they're getting mileage out of this film, right? They're literally getting a free commercial, and a very long commercial at that, right? So it's not a hard sell. If he were to decide to shoot anything else in that space, he would probably have to pay for it, because they're going to be thinking, what am I getting out of this? Right? It's not hard to think about that when you think, you're shooting a Christmas film and a guy working a Christmas store, and we have a Christmas store with Christmas things we want to sell. Yeah, man, go right ahead.
Then you want to shoot a gun war thing, then.
Exactly. You'd get no right off the bat. Right off the bat, you'd get no.
Just like what BYOG did for Darren and Morris. It's the same thing Time Mills did for
Tariq.
Tariq. If not more.
Yeah. No,
because
probably more.
the national anthem this year at the gala,
He got the national anthem, but not only that, he literally wasn't getting any acting jobs before Time Heals. And he's been on several auditions, got a few roles, still getting auditions just because of that. Because again, it's like what Darren said, proof of concept. It's like, yeah, you went abroad, you get a master's in acting, but can you really act? And then somebody sees something and they go, oh, okay, you can really act. All right, bring him in at the audition. But before that, especially because, Tarek, sorry, I was going to say your voice kind of soft. So people not gonna really immediately take to it, because when they hear the voice, I'm going to be like, don't really spark much confidence. But then when him actually embody the character now, you go, oh, okay. So proof of concept really, really helps a lot. We see it with Wentworth and Successia and Raw Material.
Oh my gosh.
They
Raw Material is Raw Material did a lot for Jamaica. It's something for Jamaica, not just it's a
And yeah, man.
yeah.
And I realize every project we're talking about
open some doors for them.
Not only open door, it is us
trying to be better
to it.
Right.
It's not after doing no money or nothing. It after just do it energy, giving our energy to it. DYP, Time Heals. Remember Raw Material when they call us.
I would say also for something like that, Raw Materials, even though it's not officially some A New View thing. Where we did the pan set of gear strength. Is that not an A New View thing? I mean,
yeah,
honestly,
it is.
I don't care. Meaning, I don't care about the label thing. So like that.
Yeah.
Right.
All I always feel like give each other strength.
Well, we took a picture.
Definitely.
We took a picture at the end when we rap. I remember it was like 80% of ANOUVUE there on the shoot.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing is, when them call we through, we drive go over there like Navy SEAL, meet him and just seeing,
And
we'll move over there.
Help them miss the day. So
yeah. And the best thing about it is, and that's something like when we're creating these things, we're not going with no ego or yeah, man, a big DP, because Darren is a big DP, but he never care just seeing operate the camera and then pull focus. And me run up and down with grip. He never care. You see me, I say we just go get energy. And I believe our work the best is when it is a thing about the project.
Honestly, if I could be on set chilling and watching the process and giving moral support, then that would be great. But the man them say, yo, we need a shooter. So we shoot.
And that's the beauty of a new view, or just a collective on a whole, is having people who have the same philosophy or mindset, or the same mantra when it comes to work, knowing that okay, if a project is in trouble, you can call on them and they know what you're trying to achieve, so they work accordingly. Because the honest truth is, you could call in some people at the last minute and they'll be like, okay, all right, yeah, you want to shoot them, I'll just point the camera. And not really here. But if they know that, okay, I know what you're trying to do with this. I'm coming here with my A game, and I'll come here with no sloppy C game, right?
Totally that. We know how the money thing go too.
Right, exactly.
No, you really want the people them get.
I believe also it comes down to, because we all we love filmmaking, right? I mean, the same thing we say where you don't call a man like, it depends on the person who call him, and when we are asking for and how much, I say how much energy man feel, But we love filmmaking. So the moment me go on a set there, my brain click on, just like the rest of it. You see me I say? Our brain click on. You see me I say? It's a brother helping another brother and sister.
The weird thing about this, and I big up. So, A New View is obviously what we're talking about and everything, but I have a shout out to crew that always come on because of who I just have to talk for myself. Who I am and what kind of relationship we have. When them don't have nothing to do with the project. And them come on for free because of me or Jess or whoever, you know, yada yada. And them not get no pay and them still work hard.
Energy.
So
Energy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just try live good.
yeah. All right, I have basically two more questions left because I want to wrap this up. Don't want to stay here all night. And Mars, I want to hear you talk more because even though I know you don't talk much, you're more of a doer. The thing is that I find that when you do talk, you drop some very, very valuable nuggets, and I don't want that to go wasted tonight. So jump in if this question resonates with you. If it doesn't, then somebody else can take it. But like, one of the things for me, what I experienced in a new view, I don't know if you guys experience it, and I don't just mean in the WhatsApp group or the Discord. I mean, just even in just general conversation, even if it's one-on-one conversation, right? Is I personally learn a lot, especially about the other departments, because while I have a fundamental understanding of all of the departments, I realize like cinematography goes very deep. Color grading goes very deep, editing, DIT, even writing. I mean, I can talk all day about writing, but I just want to like for you guys, because I consider that you guys like experts. I don't know if you guys consider yourself experts, but I do consider yourself experts. Want to learn nothing, or is it more y'all are just teaching people? Like,
And
really?
listen, you see the question you're asking right
Good,
now
that's a
is
good
why
one.
we have a novel. The
That's a
question
good
you're
one.
asking right now is why we have a novel.
It's good because I was just talking about this, I think maybe a week or two ago with somebody. But just can talk.
Um,
Or talk first, if you want.
it's probably one of my favorite questions for the night. I know nothing. Trust me, I know nothing. Like, it's always interesting to hear other
Sorry.
people talk about film in general. Just the all the different aspects, the little nuances that you probably don't think about on a day-to-day basis. Um, it's I learn a lot generally just listening to people talk. I always try to approach most situations with the idea that I'm going to listen first. Sure, I have my ideas, and I mean, directing a lot of the times is you just giving directions, but in the process leading up to you giving directions, you kind of have to hear everybody out. And I know my skill set. My skill set is not as vast as everybody else's in the group because, like you said a while ago, like if I go to Darren, Denny, Randy, or Wentworth and ask them anything about cinematography, they can probably write an entire encyclopedia based on cinematography. I can't do that. I can
True.
probably write the first 2 page, you see me? And that is probably the extent of my knowledge as it relates to cinematography. So like sometimes when we hear the cinematographers talking, especially Lecky and Darren, and them a talk about some technical stuff, but just go on at my head like, yeah man, but definitely know what you're talking about. I don't know shit, bro, but we'll figure it out later on. So yeah, at every point it's you learn something from somebody, whether it's cinematography, art department, editing. Because I think for everybody, you have skills, yes, but your skills have their own limitations. Like you only know things up to a point. There's always somebody in the group that knows something extra that can probably take your work to another level. So there's always a lot to learn. Like sometimes you just have to just sit down and just read through the WhatsApp them and see what people are saying and learn as you go along.
Awesome. Love that answer. Love that answer. What about you, Mr. Lecky? You learn nothing? Or you the teacher?
No, so I'm definitely not the teacher. And this, I think this is the reason why, I was talking to Sky today, I remember, and I was talking to him about even just, oh, everybody is different, right? It's like learning people is like a skill to me, just as a skill of cinematography and everything else. And even when you think you know enough things, like you don't, or even if you know it, you've never tried it. Like I've not gone to the complete dark side when it comes to cinematography, like Mars and Darren yet. I've not had the chance to go into that dark side yet, right? Point I'm trying to make is they can shoot dark, right? So a lot of times like I get their visuals and stuff on my pre-it and I go, okay, just like Wentworth too. You know what I'm saying? And then you have people with color, like Darren color, Wentworth color, and Mars color, something sometime. And then I look upon it and I go, I remember another rough conversation. Mars was there when my dad Darren, right where we sit down, and I had my laptop, and we're going through coloring, and he was showing me, it was coloring this red footage and stuff. And I mean look at it, I'm like, that's not how you do it, right? I must say, yeah, but this worked for me though. And I was so infuriated, I was so upset, I was so irritated, but him don't care. But what I learned, what I learned that day was,
square, right?
No. What I learned that day is, I learned that from that day on, I go, Darren have his own flow. And no matter what, he will always get it. It's funny because Darren did a step, the man did some weird step in Da Vinci that got to the same point that I got to in less time, right? But him still reached there.
I've been time for one bag of 20 million node.
Right? So, and then you have Mars, where Mars just pick up Da Vinci and him do a little color and do a little video, and I was just like, dog, huh? Right? So it's like, and then writing it, I mean, I fall on and fall off sometimes, and then writing is like a puzzle to me. So, we talk to you about writing sometimes, even though I get lazy, like I do it and then I go, oh, suppose like last night, like I write something and I'm like, should I put this here or should I end the film with this line? And it feel good here, but then when I move it and I put it under the action, it felt stronger. And I was like, so everything may learn. Our department not plan to learn, I'm sorry. So, but like cinematography, coloring, writing, editing, I really care for, to be honest, even though no I can do it. So I always learn. You know what I say? And one more thing is, for the collective, why I want us to create stuff with the BTS and so on and so people that's like me will want to learn an aspect. They want to learn maybe just the coloring part. They may only want to learn just saying part, the directing part. They may only want to learn Darren part, the DP part. You see what I say? And then they want to learn your part, the writing part. You know what I say? So that's why the collective with the standard and all of that.
Yeah. I know for me, I've learned a lot. I mean, like Mara says, sometimes I have to check out because sometimes the jargon just get too much. And I'm just like, yo, I feel like we're not alienate the rest of we don't know jargon, But sometimes I'll just go research it later and say, all right, let me see what I'm gonna talk about. Because I never, as much as I had originally been a rudimentary shooter, yeah.
I want to clarify, Kevin.
Sure.
We're talking about learn cinematography or learn anything.
No man, anything in general, just from a collective, member or any collective interaction. And when I say learn, I don't necessarily mean like, yeah, you have to ask somebody, yo, how would this go? It might just be in a conversation, something, an epiphany just hit and you go, oh, so I never think about it like that before. I'm gonna try that next time.
I wanted to say if we're talking specifically cinematography or
no, I just keep bringing up cinematography because that's where I'm furthest. Yeah, because when I started in filmmaking, I was doing everything, but I buy a camera and I shoot and whatever. But what ended up happening for me is that Tanya Taylor, God rest her soul, she had said to me, say, yo, you can't do everything. You have to you have to pick something, right? I must say, yo, it hard for me to pick something. I just love filmmaking in general. I want to shoot because I want to see it turn out a specific way and blah, 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 blah. And she said, yo, choose 1 to 2 things and just focus on that, whatever. Get somebody else to do the camera, get somebody else to do it because it's a collaborative thing. And I said, all right, if there was 1 or 2 things that I would not want to give up, like if somebody say you have to choose one, it would be writing and directing. Somebody say, all right, I'm gonna stick to that. And because of that, I never really follow up cameras after that. Understand the basics, but sensors and, the different type of lenses and, what you call it, the mirrorless versus DSLR versus, cinema camera, those things I never follow. It's just in recent times been following that up and just even learning in the group when I hear people talking about, oh, like one of the things that used to confuse me was, oh yeah, man, when you use this lens with this sensor, you're going to have the crop factor. And I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm going to go look it up. Once come, I say, yo, I not really understand what I'm talking about. But, learning a lot there. It helps me to make better decisions as a director, or at least to understand what the cinematographer is saying. And it helps me as an AD as well, because as an AD, we get beat up from both sides. We get beat up from the director and the cinematographer. We get beat up from the producer. I'll get beat up from a second AD because I say, yo, we can't spend no more time on this shot here. But at the same time, understanding what the cinematographer trying to achieve or what the director trying to achieve, you go, boy, I'm give them more time still, because if they don't achieve this are gonna mash up the film. And but if I never understand that, I just be like, yo, that DP, I don't know why I'm doing, just a waste time,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so finish what you're saying, or finish what you're saying.
Or film or commercial, whatever we're working on. But sometimes that trickle down effect of we getting pressure from clients. So
right, yeah,
it does kind of trickle down.
Yeah, it does. I mean, with commercials, a bit different because sometimes with a commercial, you ever say, yo, look, we need to get something now. We need to get what the client wants. It's not necessarily what we want. But then for an artistic piece, no, it's kind of different. The director have a specific vision and the DP have a specific vision. And if them don't capture that, it almost feels like a waste of time for them to have shot this.
Yeah, definitely.
That is in balance.
In regards to like the teaching thing, so I guess I end up, I'm not ask for this. I end up in teaching positions, roles, whatever, formally or informally. Which I don't mind, I do it enough and train who I can train. So, but at the same time, sometimes it kind of you stay still because I wouldn't say because of that. However, you're not really in an environment that, what you call it, agitates your level of creativity or where you're trying to go, because you yourself, like me myself, I don't think, like I have a look and thing that I want to achieve. I know sometimes I do achieve it, but it's like this never ending
Chase or never ending.
yeah, for this look. And I don't know if I'll ever get it, so hopefully I will. And I'm not saying I'm not satisfied with my work and blah blah blah, but there's still more to go. And
No,
I
I'm understand.
want to learn that. And not, I guess I would have to, I think I have to push myself more, like on a personal level, and go out to either, invest in whatever to learn these things, to push myself to get better. And because I mean, I think we can, it have to be a self thing at this point.
Well, Lecky, do me a favor, cause I want to ask the last question right now, but I want you to make a note. I need to interview Darren on a podcast to talk to him about the difference between the last thing that you filmed here in Jamaica that you were proud of and the last thing you filmed in America that you're proud of. Reason being is because I want to analyze what was different between the two, if anything. Because me personally, I think when I saw the thing that you shot overseas, I was just like, yo, this we need to go up and link Lecky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, man. And I don't know. For me, I saw a big difference, but you know,
Wait,
but next podcast.
We know the difference.
Yeah, but next
I know the
podcast.
difference.
Next podcast, the last question I want to ask is this. Who does the collective want to collaborate with? Because I know Lecky and I talk about it all the time, but no, let me just say it the Lecky way. One of the things that Lecky always say is that you want the collective to collaborate with more people, not just people in the collective, people outside of the collective, like even them man that will make films on YouTube, them feature films on YouTube from over the grill and all them something there and them something there. What the one named Pedro? Other one there, I can't remember his name. But all them people there,
Pedro is developing, and he's not.
He is.
He's not playing. But talk to you. Well, Darren talked to him too. We talked to him the other day. Like, look out for Pedro.
But what would the collaboration look like with them guys here?
Isn't that a good thing?
No, it's a good thing, but are we ever gonna like reach out to some of these strangers / newcomers and say, yo, we could work together, or
Pedro,
yo, what you working on next?
In all honesty, Pedro always
I'm always a reach out.
Always a reach out to me, because I mean, me and Pedro have a little history. So
okay,
I did again, kind of train him in certain ways and open him eyes to certain things. And from that, him springboard and start going out and doing him thing. So, but Pedro always reach out to me. It's just my youth, is time, and and I think I actually supposed to link him Friday. So I've been on a vlog with him already. And he want me to do it again, but we never link up on a shooting thing as yet, which could be cool.
Yeah, no, because I mean, I would love to see like you and him work together on something. Not sure in what capacity, but to see what the effects would be like combining a Darren and a Pedro, or to see what, or to see what a Richard Brown film would look like if Mars direct it. Like them kind of things there. What would the difference be? Because we have a very, here's one of the biggest challenges that we have here. I think Jamaica is a starboy country, right? We have big starboy country. If you really think about it, every DJ is a man by himself. We hardly have any groups and bands anymore. They think they're dead from the 60s, right? They think they're dead with ska and rocksteady. Track and field a beer starboy thing, right? We all of our team sports, we don't really have no star. Even when they have reggae boys, Walter Boyd was a star, right? We always is just a star boy thing. But really and truly, we're too small for that. We need to collaborate, right? And we have so many filmmakers now. Cameras have become so cheap. Editing and coloring software has become democratized with Da Vinci. So now we have so many filmmakers doing all of these little small pockets of things. So many people doing movie nights and what the flicks and all of these different things. But we have a feature film every 5 years, and we have enough people with equipment and talent that could have come together, and these guys are making feature films, but not at our level. And
Yeah, right, Kevin, that's a whole other vlog too.
It is,
That's a
it
whole other
is.
thing.
That is true. That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
But it's a good note to end on. There's something for us to think about because a Darren and a Rocky by themselves can't film a movie. But here you have these people who have willing actors, willing locations, willing crew, etc. And we know people who that.
Oh, so close, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Before we sign up, before we
Yeah,
forget,
man, no, man. Yeah, man, go through.
this is one of the things. I think Pedro is going in this direction. And I don't think he was that way in first of all, because Pedro takes feedback. I remember when the first time I went to Shotlist and I saw him, I was said to him,
Ask question, you know. Well,
yeah, I said to him, say, Pedro, he's like a Navy SEAL, you know, bro. You can dive, you can do drone, and you can shoot. Enough, I mean, know you're a videographer, but enough people can't do that. Like me just want to shoot, pan ground. Me no want to go under the water. Only person who no want to go underwater is Darren, right? Me no want to fly no drone. Me no want to learn to fly drone. Me have Robin for worry about or the brother them,
funny,
right?
yeah, it's funny
So me say, but
that
what me try to say is, remember, so we also come from a generation of people where when them things say them know what them are do, you can't tell them nothing. You can't teach them nothing. That gonna be too bad because even if I reach out to what's his name, Richard Brown, will make the movie because Yatta will make a movie every year. Him make a movie every month.
Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
more. Right? So if we reach out to him, is he willing to take
I
the
think so. I've spoken to him and he's very, very open. His thing, is that him just live far from where most of the filmmakers are.
Okay.
All right, Mars, I forgot. Yeah, Mars, I forgot. Respect Mars for passing through and giving us your knowledge and your wisdom and your nuggets and all of them thing there. Yeah, man. Next time.
Big up on yourself.
Yeah, man.
Drive
Drive
safe
good.
for that.
and this we're wrapping up anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, no, man, Richard, trust me, Richard is, because I've spoken to him several times and he takes feedback as well. Because he said to me, he said straight up, him know that him film's not that great. He wants them to be better. That's even one of the reasons why him did apply for that fund. He was saying, him really, really want the films to be better. Him don't want to stay on YouTube forever.
But Kevin, I'm generally speaking, we just call him as an example.
Oh, understood. Got you.
I talk about the many more people that I've even worked with, where you can't talk to them.
That's true. That's true.
And their work is not up to par, and they're not willing to learn and all of that. They just have to for them. It's like
right.
And then they wonder sometimes why people don't work with them and so on, and it's because of your work look.
You know what I think we should do? Like next time we go Skylark, like we spend a little time and we say, yo, Richard, we are past 3 ends. Yeah, shoot nothing. Come on set and give us strength. Or same thing with Pedro, if we must shoot something, say, yo, if you're free, we come give us strength.
This is what we do. This is how we build the people them. This is how we work with the people them. We have to give them energy. You understand?
Yeah.
Don't make them reach out to us multiple times and we don't reply to them, or we don't give them the energy, and then them have to buck up on the road and say something to it. You understand? You have to sit and talk. If we don't have the time, we just don't have the time. But when we find the time, we find the time. So matter of fact, when the man posts some time ago, I call him and I text him and say, yo, the video mad, or this is cool, or there's a point when he was kind of confused on the lighting that he was doing on the YouTube. I'm text him and say, this is this. And go, oh, see me say?
Who that?
Pedro.
You
know? So we have to work with people. We have to work with people that want to learn and create with people that want to learn. If they don't want to learn, then you just have to, you see me say? We don't have to toot our own arms. Individually, there's a lot of skilled people in ANOUVUE. You understand? And we not give you no feedback. But if we feel something is off, maybe something is off, my G. You see what I say? But if I feel like I make and the next thing is to, opinion and feedback, people get confused, but whatever it is, when somebody says something to you, don't take it offensive. Just take it as that right, so da. You understand? You don't have to take it just, and also you don't have to give it. Because if you think it's gonna be destructive, don't say nothing, just leave it. You know what I say? But people also should, we say something, just, oh, okay, understand. You see what I say? And also learn to articulate when you're giving people any feedback or anything on what you're giving them it on. Okay, if you just say, Darren, that car commercial, they suck. Or are you helping Darren?
Right.
But if you say, Darren, you should have shoot it from this angle because you decrease reflection in the car, and actually better lighting is coming from that side. You know what I say? The sunset will actually, if you shot it at this time, you'll get a better sunset on the rim and so on. If you talk to him them way, that he will get it. But he can't, And that's the next thing. When we're approaching people, and we're going to talk to people, I want to work with people. We have to know how to approach them and work with everybody differently because everybody is not the same. That too. So, you know what I'm saying?
True.
That's how we get to work with people and create with people without offending people before we even start, I believe.
Yeah. All right, well, on that note, unless Darren wants to close us off with something, I think we covered a lot tonight.
Yeah, I think it was a good discussion.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for this A New View podcast. Look forward to some more. We got a good little insight on how A New View got started and how the corny name got created. Sorry, I'm joking. It's not a corny name. It's actually
I never did say, like, I just said, so a lot of this, the inception is basically just sitting on Darren's carpet or Darren's couch and talking about all of these issues or these things. But it just really happened one day when I go, yo, just saying, say, if we create a group, what about this for this, and him say, do it now. Say no more. I'm gonna just create the YouTube, not the YouTube, the WhatsApp group.
It's funny, but I think the name works. At first, I was definitely skeptical because I'm like, brother, I don't know how to pronounce this. I don't know how to spell this. Like, what the hell? But I think it works. And part of it is the branding. You did a really good job with the logo. But I think because it's spelled weird and people saw a lot of things coming out at the time surrounding A New View, the Dig Your Own Grave, the shorts, etc., the name started to stick. Even if they didn't know how to pronounce it, then they know the logo and they know the name, right? Because it was that funny name, something that I know, right? So I think that helped, because if you did just call it regular ANEUVIEW, it would have been so plain that, you'd have probably get it mixed up with some other company. For people that say it's a window company, that what is A New View? But this name, I think it works. It works.
Don't worry. So, I went through a long drive of cussing to country. And that one day, Darren, went through a lot of cussing. But I was like, I got so heated, literally, as I said, I just messaged my text friend. I said, pronounce this for me. Because I'm just like, but
Lucky, it's a good thing you never went to high school. You went to school high, and this is what made you develop this name. We're happy for it. Thank you very much. And that's our podcast.
Fortis, you don't know.
See, all the name funny for your school. But anyway, Trey.
Yo.
So we always, we always go back and forth with the high school thing. But anyway.